Welcome! My name is Maria. I've already done one lesson about positive and negative space. I'm going to do another one today, but a little more complicated. So let's talk about what positive and negative space is. I have a painting here to show you as an example. So positive space means the images or the shapes in the picture, and the negative space is the background, all the extra stuff. So in this painting, the positive space is the watermelons, the big one, and the little pieces, and the negative space is the tablecloth and the wall, the background. So here's some examples of what I'm going to teach you today. These two are the same kind of concept, and these two are the same together too. These are two different things that I'm going to teach you how to do today. Okay, you're going to draw a line in the middle that goes up and down like this. When it goes up and down, that's called vertical. And then you're going to draw another line that goes in the middle side to side. That type of line is called horizontal. So a vertical line and a horizontal line. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 little rectangles or squares. Now, you're going to do the same thing that the other ones did, but you're just going to make a lot more shapes. So here's the rules. When you draw, you're going to draw a shape, you can either put it on this side or on this side. You cannot draw a shape from here to here. That's not going to work. So this is how you do it. You do a line here and a line here, and you can draw any kind of shape you want, but remember you're cutting this out. So nothing too crazy, something that you're able to cut out. So I have been interested in summertime, so I'm going to make it kind of look like a wave. Now, since I put it way over here, I probably can't do a shape right here. That's okay. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do one. This time I'm going to do it on this side instead of right here. So a line at the bottom and a line at the top. I think I'm going to do something kind of wiggly. I just kind of made that up. I don't know what it is. Alright, and then these two, I'm going to do a line at the bottom, a line at the top on one side. I think I'm going to do something simple, like a triangle. And look, I have space right here. So this actual square or rectangle is going to have two shapes cut out of it. I'm going to put a line right here and a line right here. I think I'm going to do a half circle. And then I have this one left. I could do a shape here and a shape right here on this edge, or just one that takes up the whole thing. I think I'm going to do one that takes up the whole thing. So I'm going to put a line at the top and a line at the bottom. And I'm going to do... Woo! Totally just made all those up as I went. Just thought it would be fun. Alright, now you're going to take your scissors out and you're going to cut all of these shapes out. Now, if you drew something too complicated and you go to cut it out and you're having a hard time cutting it out, you can erase it and try again. When I was making these the other day to figure out what I wanted to teach you guys, I drew a few things that I had to erase and try all over again because I just wasn't able to cut them out. And that's okay. So the squiggly ones, again, are the hardest to cut out. Straight lines are easier. And the more wiggly they are, the harder they are to cut out. So when you draw one, keep that in mind. Alright. Now that everything's cut out, you're going to do the same thing that the other ones did. It's just a little more complicated. So you can erase this line if you want to, or you can turn it upside down like this and glue it in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it first before I match these pieces to where they go. So put the glue. Okay. Now you're gonna come match these like it's a puzzle. Don't glue them down like this though. You're just figuring out where they go. All right, after you do that, you flip them over. And if you see pencil marks on it, that's okay. You can erase it, or you can leave them. A lot of my artwork, if you look closely at it, there are pencil marks everywhere. I don't like erasing. I'm a messy artist. I just leave stuff. I don't care. But some people are particular, and that's okay. Everybody's different. All right, so I'm going kind of quick with this, but do you see what I'm doing? I'm flipping it over. I'm doing one shape at a time. If I get confused, after I flip it over and go to put the glue, we'll just try to match it back up again as a puzzle. See, flip it. Alright, almost done. Flip it, put the glue. I'm making this look easy, but it can get confusing when you go to add the glue. I've done it where I go to glue it and I'm like, man, I put the glue on the wrong side. All right. I'm doing this one. So the first thing that you do, I picked 2 different color pieces of paper. I'm going to take one of them and fold it in half. Get a good crease there so you can cut it. I'm going to open it up and now I'm going to cut it on the line. Okay, now I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to draw any type of shape I want. The rule is it has to start at the bottom and end at the top. So this one, I made this kind of shape. I'm going to do something different this time. I'm making this up as I go. Remember, you have to cut this out. So nothing too crazy, something that you're going to be capable of cutting out. So let's see, do some squiggly stuff. All right, so I made a real squiggly line. Now I'm going to cut that out. If you're getting frustrated with cutting out whatever you drew, you can always erase and start again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue. I'm fitting it together like a puzzle. All right, I'm going to glue this part down. Make sure it's the way you want it. All right, now here comes the complicated part. So to help myself, I'm going to fit it together like a puzzle. And if some of the pieces are coming up, you can just glue those down and fix them. All right, I'm going to put an X on here so I know which side is which. The way that I did this one, I cut it a few times. So let me show you how I did that. It gets complicated. I'm going to draw a line like I'm tracing the shape that I made, but making it a little bit smaller. Okay, now I'm going to cut that line. You know what? I'm going to put a little X on this line too, so I know which side is the top. If you want to try to cut this freehand, that means without drawing a line, you can go for it. I think I could do it. But if you think it's difficult, go ahead and draw a line. That's fine. Alright. Now that I drew the line, I'll put this big piece on the side. Fit this together like a puzzle. Where the X is, I know that that's the top. And I'm going to flip it over. So you want it right on the edge. It makes a really interesting shape. So you can go ahead and glue that down. So you got to flip it over. It gets complicated to know where things go. You flip it over, put the glue on this side. It's alright if you get glue all over the place. It'll dry. And match it up. This one matches up with the top, and this one matches up with the bottom. And I just kept doing that over and over again until it got smaller and smaller. So this part, the X, was on this side. So if I flip it over, this side does not have an X, if that makes sense. And I draw another line outlining it. And cut that one out also. So you can see how this one's a little more complicated because you have several layers and you have to figure out how to flip it over and where it's supposed to be glued down. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all this. And you know what? If you make a mistake and glue it the wrong way, that might look interesting too. When I do art, a lot of times I have happy accidents. I do things the wrong way and I end up liking it more than what I had planned. So I'm fitting it together like a puzzle and then flipping it over. Like that. And you can go ahead and glue that down. So flip it over once more, put the glue, and see if you remember the right way to put it. And go ahead and glue it down. Match it up to the ends. If you have to add extra glue once you do this, that's fine. And then for this one, that's where I stopped. I went ahead and put this one, let's see. So match it up again like a puzzle. You're probably sick of hearing that, but that's the best way I know how to keep track of everything. And flip it over. And I went ahead and glued that down like that. If you want to try and keep going and keep cutting it smaller and smaller, that's fine. Probably look really interesting. And that's what it looks like whenever it's finished. Now, as far as this one with the markers, I sort of did the same thing, except instead of gluing it down, I went ahead and traced it with a marker. So if you are interested in that, you could try that out. You do the same thing. You cut it, but instead of gluing, you just take a marker and you trace it and you color it in. And I just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So look what we made. We have, I'm gonna put this one in front. We made this one, and then I made this one with you. I hope that this gave you some great ideas to do your own positive and negative space artwork. And if you think of something that I didn't think of, or you want to try something different, you go for it. You're going to make something awesome. Thanks for watching me. Bye.